You might assume these images are from the movie Avatar or some other far-off Earth-like world. It's astonishing to realize these locations are actually on our own planet. Here are some incredible places that truly exist. The Gates of Hell in Turkmenistan is a natural gas crater that has been burning continuously for decades. Near the village of Derwez, this site was part of the Karakum Desert, with sand stretching out in every direction. In the 1970s, when Turkmenistan was part of the Soviet Union, geologists arrived to explore the area for natural resources. They believed the ground below contained a cavern full of oil, so they set up a test rig to drill down and take measurements. However, they soon found a large pocket of gas just beneath the surface. According to sources close to the operations at the time, the ground collapsed beneath the rig, swallowing the drill and several top Soviet scientists. The remaining researchers detected large quantities of methane being released from the hole and believed it to be a health hazard. They decided to burn the gas, thinking it would run out within a few weeks. However, the crater has been burning continuously since then. The crater is now approximately 230 feet across and 65 feet deep, filled with fires, boiling mud, and ferocious orange flames. Efforts have been made to extinguish the fire, especially considering it sits above one of the largest natural gas deposits on Earth, but no solution has been found. The site has become a popular tourist attraction and an area of biological research due to the organisms living in the center of the crater. It may eventually burn out, but it could take several more decades before it even begins to slow down. Mauritius is famous for its beautiful beaches and crystal-clear sea, but there's an incredible phenomenon at the southwest corner of the island that looks like an underwater waterfall. Despite appearances, this isn't a flowing region of water, but an optical illusion caused by the structure of the sea floor. The island sits on an ocean shelf that is no more than a few feet deep. However, at the edge of the shelf, it plunges down to depths of almost 2.5 miles. What you're seeing in the underwater waterfall is not water falling into the abyss, but particles of sand being pushed over by the current. Deep within a forest near the town of Gryfino in Poland is a phenomenon that has confused researchers and visitors alike ever since it was first discovered. Called the Crooked Forest, there are an estimated 400 pine trees that have grown very differently from normal. It's thought that they were planted during the 1930s when the region was part of Germany. After emerging from the ground like usual, they bent towards the north for several feet before growing upwards again. It's not known why this has happened and why it's something that only these 400 trees have done. There are a couple of theories. The first is that it's the result of human design, perhaps because of a tool that was used when they were first planted. Or the alternative suggestion is that they were all subject to a freak weather event, such as a snowstorm while they were young in their development. No records exist to support either theory, so it's quite possible we'll never know for certain. The Tianzi Mountains in Hunan Province, China, are some of the most unusual mountain formations in the world. Covering an area of around 17,000 acres, they are made from quartz sandstone. The subsequent erosion of the rock has created these skinny mountains, which reach a peak of 4,140 feet. They are named after a farmer who led a revolt against an oppressive regime and called himself the Son of Heaven. When the mountains are covered in mist, they have a mystical quality, and it's no surprise they inspired the mountainscapes in movies like Avatar. They are one of the most popular tourist destinations in the region. New Zealand is one of the most scenic countries in the world, but beyond the mountain peaks, deep valleys and glaciers are a series of caves that seem straight out of a fairy tale. These caves are home to glowworms, the larval form of a species of fungus gnat endemic to the country. Known locally as titawai, which means projected over water, the bioluminescence produced in the insects' abdomens is designed to attract prey and occurs due to a chemical reaction between a luciferase enzyme and a molecule of luciferin. This creates one of the most stunning sights in the natural world and makes for a magical boat ride through the cavern when thousands of glowworms are active. Monte Roraima in Venezuela isn't your ordinary mountain. Its 12-square-mile summit is surrounded by 1,300-foot-tall cliffs, almost in a square shape. It's actually on a tri-point border between Venezuela, Guyana, and Brazil, and has long been part of local beliefs. The Pamon and Capon people believe it to be the stump of a giant tree that once bore all the fruits and vegetables in the world. The seemingly unscalable cliffs have inspired a number of stories, including The Lost World by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Paradise Falls from the movie Up. China is a country full of incredible geographic sites, but perhaps none are as surprising as the Red Beach in Panjin. It's around the mouth of the Panjin-Shuangtaizi River, where the soil is so alkaline that very few species of plants can grow. One that does particularly well is the Suaeta salsa, which has a deep red color and is why the region looks so remarkable. It was once thought that Mars was red because it was covered in crimson plants, and if that were true, the beach at Panjin is surely how it would have appeared. With so many plants growing on the shores, the Red Beach is the largest wetland area in the world, and together with the largest reed marsh in Asia, the whole region is a protected area of natural interest. It's home to more than 260 species of birds and more than 400 species of other types of animals, including the rare red-crowned crane and black-mouthed gulls. On the northwest coast of Africa, about 18 miles northeast of the Senegalese capital Dakar, is a lake unlike any other in the world. Called Lake Retba, it has an extremely high salt content, providing ideal conditions for Dunaliella salina algae to thrive, which are bright red and make the water appear pink. This unusual hue is far more prominent during the region's dry season between November and June and is accentuated by the magenta bushes that grow around its shores. The lake is an important economic center, with thousands of people relying on retrieving and selling the salt deposits as well as fishing the waters. However, the fish here only grow to about 1/4 the size they would elsewhere due to the salty water. Madagascar is usually thought of as a place with unparalleled biodiversity, but its geographical features are equally impressive. The Stone Forest, within the Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park, began life hundreds of years ago as a lagoon. Limestone deposits formed on the bed and, due to tectonic activity, were lifted above the water surface as the lagoon receded. More limestone was revealed and worn away by the monsoon rains over the following millennia. This, combined with groundwater erosion that formed caves that subsequently collapsed, has left a series of towers with canyons between them, resulting in the largest such formation in the world. Its name means where one cannot walk barefoot, and that's an apt warning. These pillars, some of which are up to 300 feet high, are sharp enough to easily cut through flesh or equipment, so they have to be traversed with the utmost care. Lake Baikal in southern Siberia is the largest known freshwater lake in the world, containing almost 1/4 of our planet's non-saline surface water. At 5,387 feet deep, it's the world's deepest lake and is also thought to be the oldest. As you'd expect, there's a wealth of plant and animal life in the region, and it supports countless villages and tribes. But the thing that's particularly amazing about this place is what happens when it freezes over. Because it's formed in a valley, it's exposed to freezing winds that blow across its surface, leading to the creation of unbelievable ice structures that are hard to believe form naturally. Methane bubbles are often trapped in the ice. Small particles are blown together, frozen, melted, and refrozen to join into unusual shapes, and rocks can even be seen sitting on their own icy pedestals. At the right time of year, this is one of the most serene and awe-inspiring places on Earth, and well worth a visit if you get the chance.